With The Matrix Resurrections nearly upon us, my look at the Matrix trilogy concludes my look at 2003's Matrix Revolutions. This film is arguably the most divisive installment in the series to date, but is a reputation warranted? Let's open it up and find out. The film picks up roughly where the last movie left off. Most of the cast reprising roles, save for the Oracle. Original actress Gloria Foster sadly passed away in between production of the sequels and is now played by Mary Alice. However, many other movies only give a passing reference or simply accept the new cast member without explanation actually work the recasting into the story, and we'll get to that when the time comes. Bottom line, Neo is trapped in some sort of limbo in the subway platform, boarded over by the train man, played by Bruce Spence, doing his best impression of Michael Wincott. With 20 hours left on the clock, Sarov has word from the Oracle, and Neo meets a young lady named Sati, played by Tanvir Atwal, and her parents, Ramakandra, played by Bernard White, and Kamala, played by Turani Mudal. Where Morpheus and Trinity are informed that the Oracle's original code was sold to Merovingian for Sati's safety. Sarov can help them find the train man before he finds Neo. Admittedly, the action scene where they chase after the train man was pretty neat, and the plot is arguably the strangest of all the movies I've reviewed in the series so far. I do kind of like the Powerade plot placements, and the tasty wheat ads are a nice little callback to the first film. Still, with the tiny revolvers all armored, you'd think eventually he ran out of bullets. Anyway, they go back to Merovingian and we see more of his club, to all the dancers' outfits, industrial metal music, and main flashbacks to the uncut video of Nine Inch Nails' Closer. With some persuasion, the Merovingian agrees to bring Neo back, just in time for racing against the final battle with the Sentinels. Neo confirms the Oracle in her new form, and though her body may have changed, her mind is still intact. It does make me curious how the new movie will approach that, and I have more to say later. Then, Smith enters the apartment, take control of the Oracle, and Hugo Weaving's performance is seen has reached Shatner levels of, that's good ham. The final battle is in two fronts. Neo must confront Smith the Matrix one last time, and Zion must make a final stand against the machines. I do rather like the robotic exoskeletons they use in the film. It was after the power loader from Aliens, but before the amp suits from Avatar, so there you go. Bane is nearly outed as an imposter, but he's still able to cauterize Neo's eyes with a power cable. Neo is literally able to see who Bane really is and eliminates the imposter. Neo then dryly tells Trinity she'll have to drive. Heh. As Trinity gets near the Matrix, the battle begins with routing speech, Captain Mifune before the first wave of machines engaged. It's not quite the battle at Helm's Deep, but I do have a soft spot for it. I also like the other Resistance members providing support with the mortar launchers. Kind of makes you want to play more Metal Slug. I once gave the crew due credit for keeping the action as clear as it is showy. The machines have their own trick, a drill to bore right into the heart of Zion. Elsewhere, Neo's riding shotgun with Trinity, and the other Resistance members have EMP to use against the machines. One catch. They won't just leave their enemies dead in the water, but their allies too. Captain Mifune is mortally wounded, and tells Kid to get the gate open. He does so with his suit, and the EMP fries everything on deck. Now, it's all up to Neo. The ship has reached the outskirts of the machine's capital, and this part of seeing the sky for the first time in ages marks another sequence that only really makes sense if you've seen the Animatrix. See? There's all continuity in the multimedia franchise before the MCU. As I kind of pointed out when Enter Matrix lockout in the last movie, the ship crash lands in the capital, leaving Trinity mortally wounded, and no kidding, takes a full 4 minutes of screen time before she officially bites the dust. For at least 18 years, and we'll come back to that. I'm not really kidding about the 4 minutes either. I timed it. There's no time for me to make dinner. In the theater, the scene is basically one of those moments where if you need to use a bathroom or make a call on your cell phone, now would be a good time to do it before the finale. Viewing things for 10 years kinda gives you a knack for that. Neo has found a way in, and it's through machines that form a giant head that kind of looks like a mashup of the original Zordon and the 2017 Zordon. I'll just deal with Hasbro's Power Rangers reboot as it comes. Neo enters the Matrix for his final fight against Smith, face to face, eye to eye. I admittedly can't stay mad at Yuan Ping, and his choreography of this last one-on-one fight is some of the best of the trilogy. The problem is that it's a might confusing and narratively a mixed bag. Even the Path of Neo game took a different approach, with all the Smiths, short of Morrissey popping out of his Tupperware to form a giant monster to fight Neo. Even one of the Wachowskis themselves have said words to the effect of how a movie can have this dramatic personal fight in the rain, but a game can have you punch out Galactus with the Incredible Hulk. Smith tries to make Neo one of him, but as it turns out, Neo planned for this. Not going to lie, even when I was 12 I was hoping for more, but that is one thing I do understand about this finale. If he's going down, he's taking Smith with him. So, when Neo sacrificed himself to rid the Matrix of the Smiths, we close on humanity and a new build of the Matrix ahead of them. Once again, I didn't know what to make of this ending when I was 12, and I still don't now. That's The Matrix Revolutions. Is it deserving of its reputation? Well, yes and no. The action is as good as ever and the visual effects are solid for the time, but both from the perspective of a 12-year-old and a 29-year-old, the ending of this film, and by proxy the original trilogy, is definitely a case of, not exactly what he hoped to end on. Though the film did make money, taking $139 million domestically and $27 million worldwide on a $250 million budget, remains the most divisive installment in the series to date. To be fair, it's not as terrible as detractors would have you believe, but it's also not the best note to end on. There were other expanding universe stories in other formats after this, and now a fourth film is finally coming out, The Matrix Resurrections, with most, but not all, of the original cast and crew returning. If you ask me what I'd want out of the new movie, my response would be simple: for it to be good. While the film is definitely products of their time, there's still a piece of WB's legacy that saw its impact on pop culture today. They'll definitely have to explain how the characters that didn't survive are coming back, though it should also be an interesting movie all the same. Wachowskis are filmmakers who have fascinated me for a long time, as my other reviews have shown. Whatever happens, my new plan is the same as WW84 last year. Initial review will be right after release. Spoiler review will follow in early 2022. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you. My final rating is 2.5 stars out of 4, or either I end up seeing it at home or on HBO home or in theaters. I'll see you soon. I look at The Matrix Resurrections later.